Alright guys and girls, Xyphoe here with my channel review of the year 2021, and this is where I take a look back over the videos and streams we've done from the YouTube channel as a kind of reminder for myself and give me inspiration for next year, and also it might act as a little reminder for yourselves as well, or you might see videos you might have missed or streams that you might want to re-watch or watch for the first time. So it's a nice thing to do, to look at, to see how we've done this year, what content we've put out, and see how much hard work has been put in as well. So hopefully you guys will appreciate this. I'll just close a few things there. So yeah, I like to do this now every year. I'll try and do this as quickly as I can, but often these tend to go on for a long time, so I'll try and get through as quick as I can. But yeah, hopefully you might see something that you've missed, or you might want to rewatch, or whatever. For those of you that's been following me for a long time, you'll be able to see sort of the work that's gone into the channel this year. Anyway, we start off 2021 with an AM stream. So I should point out the AM streams are the weekly Friday live streams every Friday 9 p.m. usually, and it's always an Amstrad thing, hence called the Am stream. So we've got a mixture of like videos being created and made for the channel, and also live streams. So we start off with an Am stream looking at new Amstrad games. We've got Alcon 2020, Attic Attack, Zelda remake, and Wonder Boy there. So that was a very good year for games the previous year then, but the previous to 2021, I mean 2020. Some good games there. Great way to start the new year, and we'll probably do something similar for the first AM stream of the year coming up very, very shortly. Next, of course, we did a first long playing review of the year, looking at the excellent Alcon 2020, a conversion of like Slap Fight. And don't forget, guys, there is a brand new updated version which plays and runs and plays and runs even smoother and faster. We'll come to that in a little bit, actually. The Am stream there, we did a request night live based around ocean games. That's always very, very popular. That's cool. And then our old school long playing review, the first old school one of the year, Amsoft's Sultan's Maze. Now this was a fun one to do. I actually did something quite unique on this long play that I didn't actually do for any others. Actually, I thought this might become a bit of a thing, but because Sultan's Maze, it's just a 3D generated maze, and without knowing where you are and referring to a map, it might be quite hard and boring to follow for a viewer. So on this one, if I just mute myself there, first thing is I actually appeared live on the video. So I did it kind of like a live stream, but like an offline one. The start of the video has the usual details about the game and stories and all that kind of stuff. But when we actually get into the long play, first of all, I'm live on it, talking live as I play through it, because I thought that would be the most interesting way to present this long play. But also over on the right here, I've got a map that I'm live updating. As you can see there, I'm dragging my position there. I'm showing you where I'm going to go next. There's a monster in the maze that's chasing, so we're updating its position as well. So yeah, we're assuming that. There you go. So yeah, hopefully they made quite a fun long playing review to watch. It's a bit of a unique way of doing things. That may be something I may do in the future, where a game is suitable for that. So there you go. So whether I appear in a long playing review again, I don't know, but we'll see. Possibly in the future for the right game. That was Sultan's Maze. We actually did quite a few Amsoft games this year, because I had a little nostalgia ping for them, or pang, rather. Next, we did an Am stream with a Turrican live long play. That's awesome. And also, this is kind of like one of the first new style Am streams. I don't know if you can see the thumbnail there. Where will it open up on here, or auto play? I don't know. No, it's not going to do that. So basically, we started like a new structure for the Am streams, where we'd have a featured game, then we'd have a community feature, and then we'd finish on game requests, because game requests is by far the most popular thing we do. People love getting their games being played and shown on stream and analysed and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted more interaction with the community this year and last year, sorry. So we introduced things like the community segments, where in this one we did a community AMS quiz. We did a live quiz based on the blockbusters Amstrad computer game, and we had people live over Discord playing with us using their webcams and mics and stuff, and it works quite well. It is a bit of a faff to set up, and like just getting through a couple of rounds of blockbusters takes nearly an hour on the stream. So my problem has always been that I tended to wanted to do the AMS quiz things like at the end of the stream, because not everyone wants to watch them. No, not everyone cares about like community members having a laugh with me. They just want to watch games and whatever. So I noticed the view count drops down, but the community loves it. The problem of like doing it later, like after midnight, is that people are getting tired, drunk, falling asleep, going to bed, and less inclined to join in. So that's always a little conundrum of mine. So we've been doing them around about 11ish, late by later streams and stuff. But we given the idea with that sort of structure of free things was to give everyone everyone wants something different out of a live stream or an AM stream. Some people want to see me beating a game and getting to the end and analysing it. Hence why we have a featured game that's always at the start. People want more, some people want more interaction and being on the stream and taking part in it, hence the community sections or AMS quizzes. And of course people just want to sort of like have a walk down nostalgia lane and get their game request in or whatever, and you know, so that was trying to get the balance right there of the free thing. So we often did that on an AM stream in 2021, and I think that's a pretty cool way of doing things. The only problem was the AMS quiz just takes just too long, and it's too faffy to set up, with people's webcams not working, the mics are too loud, too quiet, they're cutting in and out, the internet connection dies, and it's like, but hey, every now and again I think that an AMS quiz is cool. If you want more of them, please let me know. Next up was another AMS stream a week later, Hidden Gems. Well done for Yellow Baddy for starting that off, and he appeared live as a guest on that. This is a great series, and we're going to be doing more parts of this year, where we try and find those undiscovered buried treasure of like Amstrad games that people have forgotten about, don't get anywhere near the recognition, or just completely unknown. Maybe only a few people have seen and played them before. So then we have a look, are they a hidden gem or not? The chat votes with a gem, or a gem emoji in the chat, or no with an X if they don't think it's a hidden gem, and we put them in a hidden gem pile. One of these days we'll make a proper video about all these hidden gems, so that's the idea there. Next up we had a long play review for Monument, which is a cool run and gun shooter on the Amstrad, a budget game, single screen, but some very, very nice mode 1 graphics. So if you ever thought that mode 1 graphics suck on the Amstrad in the 4 colour mode, this is the video to watch to see what they could look like. Next up, Amstrad Action Master Game AM stream. This is where we looked at the games reviewed in the Amstrad Action magazine that were awarded the Master Game status, and we played them, had a look at them, chatted about them, and we decided if they were worthy or not of Master Game status, again with the chat voting. And with the voting stuff, like we did for the Hidden Gems and this one, again, it's another my way of trying to get the you guys more involved in the stream, so you have an investment in it, you know. And we do live polls which you can all vote on from your phone and, you know, from your computer and all that. So again, my focus last year was always on how do we get more interaction and make you feel more part of the streams. There you go. Next up, another Am stream a week later. This is Arcade to Amstrad, a very, very popular stream and series of streams. Sorry. Looking there, Wonder Boy, Pit Fighter, Hypersports. So we pick about 5 games that were arcade games, coin ops, that got converted to the Amstrad. So we look at the arcade version first, and then we follow it with the Amstrad version to see how they compare. And it's a really fun stream to do. Although we're running fast out of really good big games, we're now into like the smaller, obscure games that are not so good. So, but we'll do more parts of that this year, of course. Next up, another Amsoft long playing review for Home Runner. Particularly awful game, and it started a bit of a trend of bad games on the stream this year, which we'll come back to in a little bit. But another Amsoft and classic I'll say. Anyway, next up, for that long playing review, next week was in the same week, sorry, an Am stream for Guilty Pleasures. Those are the games that are renowned to be bad or acknowledged as being bad games, but you kind of like and enjoy them. My guilty pleasure was Psycho Pigs, UXB, and eSWAT. I quite enjoyed playing them. So it was getting your suggestions. So we had people appear live on the stream, I think, via Discord, or we had the suggestions in the chat as well. And we had a look and we sort of, to reassess whether they really were truly bad games or not. Like Galactic Plague's there. I love Galactic Plague. A lot of people hate it though. So that was an interesting stream. We only did one stream of that this year. So this year we'll probably do a second part to Guilty Pleasures, because that was a really popular stream actually. Oh, my first Nintendo Entertainment System video on the channel. So this year we also had some non-Amstrad content creep in this year. I've always kind of teased this every year and then not really done it, but I kind of did a bit more this year. This was cool. This came from the Tubers High Score Challenge, which is a fortnightly competition run between various YouTubers. Let me just put something playing there. Well, we compete against each other for the highest score in a game. What's really cool about Nintendo World Championships, it was this was literally set as a cart for competitions, and I got a very good run. Like, you have to get, like, was it 50 coins in Super Mario Bros, and then it switches you over to the next game, which is Rad Racer, and it's all against a clock that is ticking down. You can see that there if you see my mouse cursor's hovering around. And you got the highest score possible, and then the third game is Tetris, and I got a whopping score. I beat the 1 million mark on this, so I thought this was a worthy enough non-Amstrad video to appear on the channel. It wasn't exceptionally popular, but I'm proud of it. So if I think a game is good enough, like from like I'm not really with the Tubers. I've actually stepped back from the Tubers High Score Challenge because it was taking far too much of my time up, and it was sucking away time away from making long play review videos and other stuff. And there's certainly less long play reviews this year than the previous year, and that is part of the reason why with Tubers. So unless I could get something decent out of the Tubers to make a video, then I decided it's kind of taking up too much time, so I've stepped away from the competition, but I may return because it was quite fun on the Twitch streams, but less so on the YouTube channel because it was taking time away. But that's a very good one to watch if you haven't seen it. Next stream was a request night live looking at Codemasters budget games. Always good quality Codemasters games. Very hard to find a really bad stinker amongst Codemasters games. That's a good stream to do. Next up, Golden Axe long playing review. One I've put off for a long time because I always found Golden Axe and the Amstrad a bit of a slog. But as always, we take a look at the arcade version first, and then we move over to, sorry, there's the where's the arcade version there. Oh, probably I only have a little look, and then we move over to the Amstrad version when it's a coin-op conversion long playing review, and there it is in action. Not a fan of this game, but I got a lot of interesting details about the making of the game, so do go and watch that if you've missed that. Next stream was beat 'em ups, all the scrolling beat 'em ups on the Amstrad. We did this stream before about 3 years ago, but it was when I first started out and things were a bit lo-fi and low quality. So I wanted to come back to this and do them again. And then we didn't get through all the games this year, so I think we will do part 2 to this, looking at the rest of them this year. Next up, then we go straight to next week's stream, which again went for that format of a featured game, community segment, and game requests. Green Beret live long play. I think we did it with. Oh yes, we did it. Yes, without any cheats or snapshot reloads or anything like that. So that was performed live. So it's good to beat a game live, and the chat really did enjoy that one. Again, no long play and review for a couple of weeks, but we're coming up to my 40th birthday, so we did a 40th birthday stream where I did what the hell I wanted, and that was good fun. Oh, another non-Amstrad game pops up on the channel, and I think I had a little bit of feedback from people going, it's not Amstrad, and I lost a few subs, but hey, if I want to expand and grow, I do probably have to cover some other systems every now and again. But arcade coin-ops tend to do well alongside the Amstrad. Anything other than arcade coin-ops and Amstrad, I tend to get maybe 1 or 2 like thumbs downs and like, it's not Amstrad. I am Mr. Amstrad on YouTube, believe me, but like I do like other systems, and coin ups do all right. Again, this is from the tubers. 1 credit clearance on Football Champ with 29 goals scored overall. Is a really impressive run actually. Although I have played better, and this was, there you go. Although I don't really appear on camera on this one. Pure long play, that one. Okay, moving on, and we get to the next like really terrible game of the year. This is surprise long playing review, and this all started from a Twitch stream which Ashens appeared on, and he requested, you can see that there, hoping for some surprise or death kick. Well, if Ashens pops on your stream, you're gonna play what he requests. So we played surprise. Actually, I'll come back to that in a second. And God, this is a terrible game. But what I did for this one is we actually, on the Twitch stream, we actually built a map of the rooms, and we actually figured this bloody thing out. Where's the map? I've lost where the map is. We show the map in full somewhere. But yeah, so I went to extreme lengths on this one to I got obsessed by it. It was such a terrible game and so broken and bug ridden. I was like, there must be a game in here somewhere. I mean, I'm so intrigued and obsessed to find out more about it. So we did. Oh, hang on, here's the map. So I ended up constructing a map of the game. Just put the playback speed back to normal. And this is now on the CPC Power website as well. So if anybody wants to play and beat the game, I figured it out. And in a way, I'm really proud of this one, because I've gone to the lengths to figure out a game and map it, and that anyone can now play and use. But unfortunately, the game is bug ridden, so there's lots of schools here representing, do not go into this room, it will kill you, and the game will soft lock you and stuff like that. So I'm quite proud of this video. But it did start a bit of a trend for terrible games on my channel, which we'll come back to in a second. Amstrad Action, this is the opposite of the Mega Game Awards, the Grave Awards, which they briefly used. Looking at the worst ever, lowest scoring games in Amstrad Action magazine. That was quite a popular one. Again, terrible games. And then we have another particularly bad game, or reviewed as a bad game in magazines at the time, The Bells long playing review, a Hunchback clone, a budget one. I actually didn't think this was too bad in the end, but it is regarded as a bad game. We'll come back to bad games in a bit. Next, we did another Hidden Gem stream the week after, and look, after that we have another Nintendo video on the channel, an NES video. This one's Pac-Man Championship Editions. Again, this is from the Tubers High Score Challenge, and I got such a absolutely a great score on this one, and I thought this game was absolutely brilliant. It's the best NES game I've ever played, and I highly recommend it to anyone. I mean, look at it. It's hypnotic and trippy, and probably will hurt your eyes, but you'll be hopefully you'll be quite impressed by my skills here, actually, because I was. It took a lot of practice to get this good. I don't think I actually won it that week or fortnight, but I came very close to. But like, it was good. It's a good watch, this one. Trust me. The game gets more and more intense and crazy as we go along. So 2 NES videos on the channel this year, from 0 from 12 years previous. Next stream, featured game was Death Kick, the other one that Ashens requested. The other most, one of the lowest scoring games in the history of the Amstrad magazines. Death Kick, legendarily bad. This actually gave me an ocular migraine afterwards from the appalling graphics. And then we followed it with I edited out the long play. I edited out of the live stream an actual long play of the game, because we actually beat it on stream and we figured it out again with a bit of mapping and some other bits and bobs. You may see here that I've got a keyboard. There's the keyboard controls, and I've got a live keyboard here, which I'm pressing to show which move I'm using, because in each room you'll encounter a bad guy that can only be defeated or obstacle by one particular move, and you have to work it out for every room, and there's like tons of rooms. But yes, I got a little bit of negative feedback after that one. I think a few people got a bit fed up of too many bad games being featured on the channel. So that was the last one I did for a long time, I think. Yes, and I think I had someone actually really upset that I edited a live stream into a long play video and they felt it wasn't right or something like that. And I'm like, I presented the live stream like I would do how I would do a long play video normally, with an intro and discussion and history of the game, and we get into the long play and we talk through it and stuff. And I tried to edit out all the alerts and things, but some people are just not happy. So some people are purists and gatekeepers, but hey. But I got the feedback that we've had too many bad games, so we stopped there. So I'm always open to feedback, guys, and listening. I got a little bit obsessed with bad games up to this point. Anyway, moving on. Talk about bad games. I thought we'd do a US Gold request night stream, and US Gold we're known for quite a few stinkers as well. So after that, it was all good, because then we did After the War long playing review, a fantastic looking Spanish game. Level 2 is like a run and gun shooter. Level 1's a scrolling beat 'em up in a final fight style. Well, actually more like Vigilante or something like that. Look at those big gorgeous sprites and graphics there. Lovely stuff. So good game there. Next AM stream was an AMS vehicle special. As you know, on the AM stream we do have a garage of AMS vehicles we can pull out. There's me in the AMS racer there. What else did we have? What else do we have? We do have an AMS car, which I sit in and drive with Lord Sugar. I think most of us have seen the AMS car before. We have an AMS buggy. Yeah, it's a bit sick. That one's a bit crap looking, actually. We do have a AMS bike. Pop myself in there. There we go. I've got an AMS bike we ride on stream. I don't know if people get a bit annoyed by the silliness on the AM streams and stuff, but I try not to take myself too seriously and just have a bit of fun and have a bit of a laugh with like some special effects every now and again. So have we got any of? Oh yeah, we've also got an AMS boat. Lord Sugar rides with me on the stream and stuff. So I hope you like that stuff, guys. It takes a lot of time to make, believe it or not. But I like going the extra mile on an AM stream and just taking it beyond the average live stream of like a bloke playing a game. So we just have a bit of fun. So hopefully you like all that kind of stuff. We added more things later in the year, of course, more vehicles. And we might do a part 2 of that, because it's fun looking at driving games, racing games and all that. We did a Request Night Live as the next AM stream. And then the next AM stream was another Arcade to Amstrad one, with Robocop featuring there as well. So again, we didn't get any long playing reviews done there. I think that around about that time, things got a little bit busy at home and things like that. We'll come back to that in a little bit. So apologies where there's been a few weeks without a long playing review video. We will try and do better this year, but I'll explain why in a bit. Oh yes, next long playing review, SES Combat Simulator from Codemasters. I thought this might be a bit crap. I was pleasantly surprised in the end, but it's still not the greatest in the world. It's kind of an Ikari Warriors clone with a crap Green Beret section thrown in for good measure. Hidden Gems, another Hidden Gem stream. This time we're searching out our own without Yellow Belly's assistance. And we'll do more parts of that this year. And last we come to the Sugars, which is I suppose my big event of the year on the AM stream. I like to try and surprise you guys with new things each year to keep things fresh and interesting. And this is the start and our inaugural Amstrad Game Awards for the best games of the year, of the previous year or whatever. And I'll try to do this around I think it's March time when the Oscars happen. So it's our Mickey take of the Oscars, but for the Amstrad. But there was so much things to set up for this and silly effects. It took ages. So if you're wondering why there wasn't much long playing review videos in the preceding weeks, this is why, because I was setting this up. And we went all out on the silliness and special effects. We had an opening ceremony. Where is it? We had an opening ceremony. Where was that? Yeah, look at this. We're trying to present this like the Oscars. So we had all sorts of silliness going on and special effects and scenes and stuff like that. We had a pre-show kind of opening ceremony. I've muted the sound here because it just clash anyway. And the chat absolutely loved this. This was the opening ceremony scene. with the flying GX 4000, the flying 464, the Sugar Man. This is all movie themed, and there we are. At the Sugars there, the opening ceremony, and the people arriving. Flying Bridget there, and there's the Sugars statue in all its glory, which was handed out to the winners in the various categories. Now we are flying inside the ceremony there. This took a lot of work to do, and we had a little bit of a Mickey take of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark opening scene. These after the Golden Sugar Award. You know, you know how it goes. And so forth. We had to set up a lot of stuff, and I learned a lot of things from this for doing special effects and tricks on streams and on videos. So it had double. It had two bonuses. One, we had a great stream here, and two, I learned a lot of new stuff that I can implement on subsequent streams and videos. So I hope you all enjoyed that. We have the opening ceremony, and then we have the awards. We had Yellow Belly appearing in drag. We had various people come to present awards that night. Oh, come on, don't chew for me here. And we had plenty of presenters. The thing was, we did overrun. That's Yellow Belly there. We did overrun quite a bit, and by the time we got to the Best Game Award, it was really late in the night. It was gone like 1 in the morning and stuff, and most people had gone to bed. And how we did things was we had people vote live on the stream. Can you see that in action? Maybe, I don't know. We had people vote live on the stream for it. Damn you two, why are you so slow? We had people vote live to who was going to win the award and stuff. By that time, though, late at night, a lot of people had gone to bed and fallen asleep. So we will try and adjust things for this year's Sugars. There will be a Sugars this year. It'll probably reuse a lot of the same stuff we had. That's the crowd applauding Yellow Belly there. We'll use a lot of the same stuff. We'll try and throw in some new fun things as well when we can. And we'll try and we'll reorganize things. So I think when we had a look at, we spent the first chunk of the stream looking at all the games and stuff. So by the time, where were we? We were about nearly 2 hours into the stream before we got to the actual ceremony, which took too long. So this year we'll probably pre-record the footage and play it and have it all pre-recorded, and there's no messing about setting up controls and opening the right thing in an emulator. So we'll shorten that down and get the main ceremony underway as quick as possible. And I don't know whether we'll have live guests or not. Maybe we'll have them pre-record their stuff just to speed things up and make things more professional and slick looking. So yeah, we had a few problems there getting Alcon running. Never mind. But that was if you missed this or new to the channel and want to watch one of the best AM streams we've done, the Sugars is definitely one to watch. Where are we at now on the video? Nearly 30 minutes in, so I better hurry up. First, I think this is like the first new game of the year. As soon as a new game is released for the Amstrad, of course we make it the featured game on the Am stream that week as soon as we can. And this was Moritz the Striker. And we became really good friends with the guy behind the Moritz games, Sebastian. And he had such a wonderful time on the stream. He really loved it. He was at the, I think it's okay for me to say that he was at the point of giving up on making games because no one seemed to care about them. Well, we showed it a whole lot of love that night, and the chat loved it, and he was in the chat and he loved it too, and it's inspired him a lot. And he's now just finished off another new Moritz game. So hopefully we'll have an exclusive look at that first on the Am stream, which will be coming up very soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, as soon as a new game is out, we feature it on the Am stream. I tend not to do a long play review video straight after a game is released anymore, because I feel it just ruins the impact of it. There are other channels that do that, and I feel a bit about it. I used to do that a few years ago. But like, I think you should give it like a few weeks or months before you put a long play out, because it's just too tempting for people to watch, and it spoils the game. Because if you just, anyway, I've rambled on enough. So I tend not to do long plays of new games, at least for give it a few weeks or months or whatever. Next up, another new long playing review video, Sword of the Samurai, a decent budget shinobi clone. There again, it's kind of a hidden gem discovered on the hidden gem stream, so there was a purpose to the hidden gem streams for finding these kind of games like that. And I hadn't heard of this before or come across it before. It was actually quite decent, if lacking in some bits and stuff. Move on, go on. Yeah, it's an okay budget shinobi clone, basically. Anyway, next up, another new game for the Amstream, Open Tower Defense, an excellent game. Not everyone's a fan of tower defense type games, but this one was really, really good for what it was. Perfectly done. If I found it eventually a little bit too easy, but great game. Definitely worth checking out if you missed out on that. And then a week later, we had another new game release called Aeon, which had like multiple levels of different gameplay types in. So it is like a side-scrolling platformer. What's this one? Like an maze exploration level. Where do we go next? And then there's kind of like a tower climber level, which is kind of cool, a bit like Atom Ant. Very nicely done. And then I think the final section level was kind of like a hardcore single-screen platformer. With multiple levels there and multiple things to do. Very, very cool product. That's definitely worth checking out Aeon if you missed it this year. This is our next video, Robo Glitch, the Amstrad, CPC and ZX Spectrum Robocop exploits you can use to easily beat levels. So this is just a little test in the water of me not doing a long playing review video for the channel. We're doing something like a feature on something interesting I found, and I plan to do more this year. I'll talk more on that later probably, but this was cool. This was just finding out an exploit we discovered on an Amstream years ago. Actually, there's the original Amstream, that if you do a certain thing in a row, you can actually basically walk through the entire first level without taking any damage and without firing a shot, I think, until the very, very end. So that was cool. To do a little fight, just to do a little feature like that. We even looked at the specky version to see if you could do it there, and yeah, you can just about. So it was a nice little feature that, I thought, and I'll do more little featurettes like that in the future. That is definitely something that will be coming up this year. So hopefully you guys will like that. Next Amstream, we had another new-ish game, Suck Hunt 3D, a game that you wear 3D glasses for. And so we followed that by looking at apparently 3D games on the Amstrad. Games that had 3D in the title, determining whether they were 3D or not. But Suck Hunt was actually released a year previous, but it'd been released silently as like kind of a learning lesson from the excellent Chibiakima's channel, where he does coding videos and tutorials. This is a game that was born of that. We thought, well, we got to check it out in the Amstream. Anyway, next up, another Amsoft long playing review, 3D Boxing. And this game has the free speech synthesizer. Where was it? There it is. This game actually uses the SSA1 speech synthesizer, the speakers that I had this as a kid. Let's see, am I showing it off here anywhere? There it is. There's the speech synthesizer, and we actually got this working in an emulator that emulates the SSA1, so you actually got the speech in this game as well, so you could hear that if you really wanted to. The game itself, not so great, but hey, that's an interesting video. Oh, and then we started a new series on the Amstream, looking at all the Hit Squad games. This is a suggestion and request by a higher tier Patreon. If you're in the higher tiers, you get to suggest and choose a video or stream once per year of your choosing, or a theme or whatever. I'll talk to them about it and try and mould it into something that is definitely watchable or whatever. This is from Neil Love. He chose Hit Squad games, and it turned out to be an excellent thing to do because it's a nice chilled stream, a nice nostalgic walk down memory lane, because all the Hit Squad games, pretty much all of them, were like decent quality. They're all arcade conversions and stuff, Robocop, Operation Wolf, etc., and all that. And plus, the Hit Squad split their games into 3 categories: coin ops, movies, and sports games. and they numbered them on the spines from 1 to 50 or whatever, and we were playing through them in sequence, and so it was nice, always surprised to see what the next game was in the sequence and stuff, and we could follow that through, and I don't have to think too hard about things, and people really enjoy those, and we did a few of them that year, and we shall do some more this year. This one was next part of the Amstrad Action Master Games stream, part 2. Next up, another feature video and an Amstream exclusive. So on the sugars, we got an exclusive look at an updated version of Alcon 2020, but in 25 frames per second. Now, previously it ran about 15 to 17 frames per second, I think. But now this is super smooth and fast. It's absolutely bloody brilliant. So we look at that. That's amazing. That's awesome on the Amstrad. So I did a special feature on that as well later in the year to sort of teaser that coming. This should be released very, very soon, guys. Apparently, according to my insiders, it's the new version. To look out for that. Slap fight. Alcon 2020, the 25Hz version, or 25 FPS. Anyway, another new game to feature on the Amstream, Dr. Roland. This was going to be in the CPC Retro Dev, but unfortunately wasn't allowed in because it might infringe on Nintendo's copyright. But it's finally released to the public, and it's an excellent Dr. Mario clone. So that's highly worth watching. Another new series I'm started here, looking at particular years on the Amstrad. 1993 was a most interesting year because that's the year of the last ever commercially released Amstrad games. So Prehistoric 2, Striking the Crypts of Trojan, I think. Oh, actually, maybe not. I think it was 92. Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis and stuff like that. And so it's looking at what happened that year for the Amstrad community and all that kind of stuff. So we've got 1994 coming up, which will happen this year. We'll hopefully have Rob from Radical Software, who released a load of homebrew games in 1994, like Fluff, Ball Bearing, loads of others, and really kept the Amstrad scene alive, along with Odie from Odie Soft, who did Mega Blasters in 1994, one of the best games ever on the Amstrad. He's going to appear live on the stream to talk to us as well. So we'll have 2 live interviews looking at those games. And the rise of homebrew, the rise of the homebrew scene on the Amstrad in 1994. That'll be coming up this year. A really good game here. El Capitan Trueno. One of the best Spanish-made Amstrad games I've ever seen. This was a truly excellent game. Really nice graphics, good variety in gameplay. And especially the last level was very, very much like kind of Savage. This was great fun to play, and it was really good find. I couldn't believe I hadn't found this before. But it's a great game, and I'm really happy to have done this long playing review. There we go, pop that down there. So definitely worth check that out if you missed it. Another Hit Squad stream there. I think this was the sports collection we started on to time in with the Olympics a little bit. That was just about to start. We have a new game on the next Amstream, Le Voyage de Neffy. Quite a cool little dungeon crawler, well worth checking that out. Next up, Bruce Lee long playing review, another classic game that a big game that I haven't covered on the channel before, and I finally got round to it here this year. So there you go, Bruce Lee, no death and no death run, and we also showed off all the glitches and exploits you can use in the game to get through it. Anyway, so watch the end of the video on that one. Next Amstream was Amstrad Olympic Games, the summer edition. Summer Olympic Games, the time in the Summer Olympics that year. Looking at all the multi-sport events there, that was good fun. It wrecked my arm, unfortunately, with all the joystick waggling. Next up, and we looked at some new games, new-ish. These were released about 2, maybe 3 years ago, but I hadn't heard of them before, and no one had dumped them. And someone can't even, because it's been sold through the what's it called? I forget which shop it's called. So it was Crazy Blaster and Rodman. Crazy Blaster was good fun, definitely. What shop was this released in? Oh, I can't remember now. Never mind. But you can find the link in the description there. The shop. But yeah, 2 new games there. So we eventually finally got around to looking at them after someone kindly let me the disc dumps of it. A first Game Boy game on my channel. A game from the Tubers High School Challenge. A Super Mario Land long playing review with no deaths and an absolutely massive score. And I thought this was a cool video to have on the channel. Unfortunately, I missed one sodding pipe on this game. Otherwise, it would have been a properly complete long play, and I probably would have won the challenge in the Tubers High Score. Never mind, but this is a really good video to watch, so I hope you enjoy that one if you have or haven't seen it. Next Amstream, we're looking at the best ever budget games on the Amstrad, and this was the start of a series of streams, and it's going to culminate in a special video looking at the top 10 best ever budget games on the Amstrad, which is, I can tell you now, is something I'm working on currently, and that'll be coming up hopefully at the start of the first quarter of this year once I get it finished. And what I use these streams for was to take suggestions from the chat, get you guys involved again as much as possible. You guys suggested what you think were the best budget games, and we checked them out, and this actually took about 3 streams to do, and eventually we did some voting and stuff like that to whittle it down, the list down to a top 20 and then to a top 10. And then we had a survey and poll where you gave scores to the top 10 games to work out which order the top 10 would go in. So I've been using that. So these streams always have a purpose. We'll have that top 10 best ever budget games video there on my channel for eternity. And hopefully that will be the definitive top 10 as best we can get. There you go. So I do use the streams for stuff like that. That has narrowed down that list and pulled up which ones should be there, rather than me arbitrarily on my own just picking them myself, which I guess a lot of people do on their YouTube channels, which is fine. That's fine to do, but with ours, we make sure we've had a lot of input, not just from on the streams, but from Twitter polls, asking on the CPC wiki forums and Facebook and all that kind of stuff, and we Discord, and we pull it all together and get lots of people's involvement to try and get the definitive one. And we did that later in the coming very soon with a different thing I'll show you shortly. Next up, Manic Miner long playing review, another classic old school platformer like Bruce Lee that I never got round to doing because a lot of people had already done videos. Enough time had passed, so I thought it was time to do Manic Miner, and there's a lot of interesting stuff about the making of the Amstrad game I managed to find out in there, so do have a watch and a listen. Another new Amstrad game, Bugs Quest, based on Nova Bug, made by the excellent Yellow Belly. And the first Amstrad game ever on the Antstream arcade streaming service as well. So great stuff there. And I think we had Yellow Belly as well on stream talking to us about the making of it and all that kind of stuff too. So that's a good one to watch. Another feature video here looking at a new Amstrad magazine and the new Antics CPC magazine, which I wrote a few articles for, and I did for issue 2 because issue 1 here did very well. I think they're now working on issue 3 as we speak. Awesome stuff. Another Hit Squad, Amstream, Arcade Collection Part 2. Then another new long playing review, Buggy Boy on the Amstrad, looking at the arcade conversion first, followed by the Amstrad one. This was a really fun one to do. There's the arcade version, and then we move over to the Amstrad one. And obviously I talked through it all, and I talked through all the other conversions and how they compare, all the usual stuff there. Hopefully that's a good quality video to watch. Another new game on the Amstrad, potentially maybe Game of the Year, I don't know, not me personally, but we'll see. Steam Chronicles, the sequel to Galactic Tomb. But was it overly hard, and is the gameplay not balanced properly? We shall find out. Hang on, sorry, alert there. But a very nice looking game, very enjoyable. Then we have second part of the best ever budget games. We'll come back to that. Remember, we use these best ever budget games to get to the top 10s, top 10 video. Well, when we did early in the year, looked at all those terrible games, and we've done previous streams of like the worst ever Amstrad games in previous years. We finally pulled a list together, and we made the top 10 worst ever Amstrad CPC games. I suppose this is kind of like one of my standout videos of the year. It's the first video on YouTube I actually premiered. So we have well, you should do. Unfortunately, for some reason my browser isn't showing it. There's actually a live chat going on there as well as the comments. I don't know why YouTube is broken in my browser at the moment. So lots of nice presentation. Look onto a little extra length there. And we have the box art there, there's surprise surprise, and then the details here of the game. Hopefully it's a really enjoyable video to watch. And again, we nailed it down to the definitive top 10 thanks to all your guys and girls input in votes and polls and stuff over the years, and we finally did it. So there we go. Next Amstream, another new Amstrad game, potentially game of the year as well. Los Amores de Brunilda, hoping I'm pronouncing that right. A beautiful looking sort of Zelda type game on the Amstrad. I absolutely love this, but we did complete it that night, and it's completable within about an hour or so. So I felt it was a little bit maybe short in length. So a little bit just disappointed by that. Otherwise, that looks absolutely beautiful and is stunning looking. And lots to do, lots of characters to talk to and all that kind of stuff. Brilliant stuff, brilliant. Oh, my second favourite Amstream of the year, probably. The James Bond 007 special. All the 007 games on the Amstrad. I loved doing this one because I'm a big Bond fan. And it was time to be released. We timed it around the release of the new Bond movie. And we did lots of extra silly stuff this year. Like we had an intro. And it counts down from 007 there if you get it at the right point. And yeah, we went all out on the silliness this one as well. A bit like the what do you call it? A bit like the sugars. So what I learned on the sugars was kind of like brought over to this. Can we skip forward? It's a bit hard to skip forward. United Artists logo there. So instead it's United Amstrads. And yeah, the chat were loving it, as you can see there from the chat. And of course, we had to do this. I've muted the audio on this. We have to do the gun barrel sequence. Unfortunately, it's me appearing, not Lord Sugar. I tried to do a Lord Sugar because I thought, is it a bit much me being Bond here? It's more funny if it's Lord Sugar. But I just couldn't get it to work and look right. So it had to be me. So I hope you liked all the special effects on here. Oh god, I arrived by parachute. Probably though one of the best intros I've ever done to an AM stream. Arrived in the AMS car. Of course, it has to be a Lotus like Roger Moore's. And then there's a big explosion. And up I pop on screen. There we go. So yeah, lots of fun and silliness. We had lots of extra effects throughout the stream where I don't know if I can find it at all now, but oh, of course the AMS boat came out for Live and Let Die. Anyway, enough about that. If there's another stream you haven't you missed all my AMS streams this year, or you missed most of them, another stream I heartily recommend is this one then, along with the Sugars live stream, so go and check that out. Okay, to Amstrad part 15 here. There we go. But this was a James Bond theme. James Bond inspired coin op. So we've got Spy Hunter, Sly Spy, Rolling Thunder, and Thunder Jaws. There on that one. Another new Amstrad game. Puzzle Bobble appeared on the Amstrad. So of course that was the feature on the stream that week. That was the shortest one we've done because I was away on a holiday the next day. Oh, my third favourite stream of the year. Always usually one of my favourites every year. The Halloween Scream. And again, we had lots of like silly effects and all that stuff going on. Thunder and lightning, rain, spooky noises, and I was a ghostly Xyphoe, of course, for this one. Awesome. And we had a live long play of Werewolves of London on that one as well. So another sort of favourite of many people, that game. And then to carry on the horror theme, another Amsoft game, another classic I never covered on the channel before. Oh Mummy, just a short one. But I thought it followed quite nicely with the horror theme from Halloween. So that came a day or two later from the AM screen. So there you go. We did a CPC Retro Dev special. CPC Retro Dev, if you don't know, is the yearly game creation contest held every year for the Amstrad. And lots of new games. Sometimes between 30 to 50 new Amstrad games get released and put into this competition. And we had a look back over the previous years and some of the best games from that. But the best of all, we had a live interview with Francisco Gallego from the University of Alicante, who's the guy who set up and runs, and still does, the CPC Retro Dev. So he appeared live on stream to talk to us about how it came about, and had lots of very interesting stories to tell and it's definitely a really good watch. And really good interview. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And we'll try to do more live interviews this year. I mean, the previous year we had Roland Perry of Amstrad. I don't know how I'd top that unless I could get Lord Sugar, but Fran comes very close. Thank you, Fran, for doing that. And then the next week's stream, of course, was the actual CPC Retro Dev that I'm playing through all the games released that year from the winner downward, descending or whatever. And it's always a good watch. Lots of great games there. Next up, Operation Wolf long playing review, another classic game. Those of you who are eagle-eyed or have good memories will remember I actually did do a long play of Operation Wolf 12-13 years ago on the channel, but the video quality is in like 240p. It's a postage stamp size and very pixelated and muddy to watch. There was no review and commentary from me, so I remedied that this year. It was fun to make. We looked at the arcade version first, of course, but also we are playing a special version of the game made especially for this long play. So Nish from cpcgamereviews.com website, highly recommended, combined this arcade intro made by Music Man with his crack of the game, which has like cheats but lots of bug fixes for the game, which is essential if you want to get the final score and get the right number of hostages, etc. He combined it together into one special definitive version of Operation Wolf to play emulated on your Amstrad, or indeed via M4 Wi-Fi or C4 CPC car, I suppose, or whatever, method you have to load it on an Amstrad, like a GoTech or something like that. So that version has been made available on the CPC Power website, I believe. Anyway, I don't need to show you, so the link's in the description below. Next up, another Hit Squad Am stream that week. And then the next Am stream was looking at two new games on the Amstrad, Gem Jam and what was it? Oh, come on, I've lost the summary. Josh, two great puzzle games, and we'll come back to them in just a second. Next, a long playing review of Relentless, one of the best moving, scrolling and playing shoot 'em ups on the Amstrad. It has the rare feat of achieving 50 frames per second scrolling and sprite movement on the Amstrad, and it's absolutely brilliant horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up. But for this one, again, we went to extra depths here. I actually had a chat, an interview with the coder of this, where he told us all the secrets of the coding and how it was made and how he achieved 50 frames per second. So if you really like nerdy technical details of like how a game is made and coding and stuff like that, this is the video for you from me. I've tried to present it in a idiot's guide, like, because I'm an idiot, and hopefully it'll be understandable. So a lot of people really like this one, and a lot of lovely comments about that. So brilliant. It's definitely recommended to watch this year. We did a request night live because things were a bit busy, so it's an easy stream for me to do, just anything goes. And then we had the Christmas Am stream, and we had 3 new games to look at. We had a new Roland game from Zoe from Game Hammer. Roland Goes Rescuing 2. There we go. A nice little single screen platformer in a kind of a Jet Set Willy style. Next we had CPC Bullet, which had some lovely graphics and music around the actual game. The game itself, maybe not so good, but a single screen kind of choose the angle and fire a bullet to hit the other guy. And then we had a new puzzle game in Just Get 9, which led me to do my last video of the year, which is 5 new awesome Amstrad puzzle games. Again, I hope you enjoyed the presentation on this one. And lots of great games to look at here. Puzzle Bobble, Gem Jam, Josh, Just Get 9, and another one I hadn't seen from earlier in the year or played on the Am stream, one called Push It. So there you go, that was my last video of the year. And I'm hard at work on some new videos and some new long plays. So there you go, guys. I thought we've had a good mix and variety of content this year, but a few new surprises with like the sugars, and we're going to expand on that this year, of course, with that. I enjoyed doing like the James Bond stream, which had some extra special effects. All that learnt from doing the sugars. So the quality of the streams have, hopefully you've seen, have increased over time. Oh, we had a new AMS vehicle. Where was that on? If I can find it. We had the AMS fighter as well debut this year. Remember which stream it would have been on? It might have been on one of the Hit Squad streams actually. Was it this one? To show you what games do we have on this one? Nemesis R-Type, Target Renegade, Operation Wolf. Damn. Maybe it was a later one then. Possibly not then. Oh, I can't find it. And I've been talking for too long anyway. Oh, it might be in this one. Never mind. I've not found it. Let's just leave it there and move on. Unless it's an earlier one. We did that one. That's a sports collection. Damn. Was it this one? And then I'll probably leave it there. So guys, if you've got any feedback or comments for me, my ears are always open. If you want to do it in public comments on this video or on something else, you want to DM me directly or whatever, that's absolutely fine. Whichever way you want to do it, I'm always open to feedback, constructive criticism, wishes and things you don't like and do like or whatever. Please let me know. Anything you'd like to see on the channel this year, again, let me know in the comments below. If you've watched this long, we're nearly an hour length, so I better leave it here. Thank you again though guys for all your support throughout 2021. It's been a tough year for everyone like 2020 was. Hopefully I've provided some distraction and entertainment and take your mind off the real world crap. That's what it's all about, especially the AM streams. And we've got a really lovely community where we all chat a lot on Discord, so please feel free to join my Discord. There'll be a link in the description below for the Discord, along with all my other social media links. So do come and join in our Discord and get to know the community a bit more, and you'll feel more part of us then, and join in on the AM streams and in the chat or whatever. So thank you guys again. Any feedback, do let me know, and don't forget that I also stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Xyphoe, or just search for Xyphoe. It's the same username on Twitch. Give us a follow if you haven't already, because I stream 4 nights a week on there on average. And we look at other systems other than the Amstrad, and we have a good laugh there as well. Usually starting around no earlier than 8 or 8:30. Usually around 9:30, 10 o'clock we start and do like an hour or two stream, and it's just nice to chill out with everyone. So do come and join us there. Thank you very much for watching, and all the best for 2022. Happy New Year everyone, and I'll see you around. All right, take care and goodbye.